the last squiggle, which is whatever number 9,999, I think. I guess there's 10K, and maybe the first one was 0. So yeah, that, it's been kind of a long time coming. There was like those few held back. I think maybe there was one for, maybe a couple big auctions or something. But I guess this is the last one, and Snowfro got someone, that's done some cool like closeout last mint events before. And so he wrote up this cool contract. Oh, let me start so he wrote up this cool contract, and so I was just sending, like whatever, you just send a couple bucks of ETH. They send it back at the end of the week or something, or maybe sooner. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Hard blocks, so, and only get $100 if it wasn't returned. I think it's a cool enough historic moment to have my wallet sign the last art block. Right. So, and then it also, in the like, there's a little tweet thread, or actually it's just one long tweet. It's it also mentions like if also you're a holder, you should send some from that address as well, or if it's delegated, here's some like information. And I do have my Chroma Squigs in a separate wallet. So I'm actually gonna I wanted to do it from my like Oxfab, my easyencrypto.eth, so that is there, but I'm also gonna do it from my Squiggy account, because maybe in the future they're like, oh, these are all the people that held and signed on the last mint. It could be a POAP, it could be a other type of token, whether that's like a collectible, some sort of Bitcoin thing. Should be cool though. Should be cool. So I'm just now sending out my couple dollar ETH. That's good. That's the right account. If you guys want, I could share the Squiggle last mint address if anybody wants to partake in the signing of the last Squiggy mint. I think I'm doing it right. Double check the tweetage for absolute certainty. And Ox9B917, yes, ending in B3F8. That is correct. That is correct. And here we go. Oh, insufficient funds for gas. What are you talking about? Oh, maybe. That works. Oh, maybe my other transaction didn't come through yet. Let's see if I'm balanced. I have no ETH in that wallet, so somebody couldn't just like jump in there and send out my squids. I mean, I feel like okay, there it is. There it is. All right. Sorry about that. I wanted to, oh, great, phones here. Let me bring you up. Sorry. I had been explaining, there's kind of a cool little shindig going down where you can send any amount of ETH, like I'm just sending like a 0.00042 to the Squiggle. The last Squiggle is going to mint, I believe, on the 20th, and they opened up the contract today, and they're hoping people will kind of like participate by quote unquote signing the contract. And it's a pretty ingenious method because it's so safe. All you do is send, whatever, 0.001, 0.0001 ETH to the address. And so there's no like signing a website with your MetaMask. Like you just send whatever amount you're comfortable with. And it could be 0.000000001, but you're going to get that back anyways. So you might as well just send like 0.00001, which is like a buck or something. And so they send that back, but also that like logs you as a participant in the kind of signing of the last Squiggle contract. And so there's like what, 4 or 5 days to do it. And also, if you're a holder, they kind of encourage you to also, or either do it from that wallet, or if you wanted to do it from like your, if you have a .eth, like I have EasyEncrypted.eth, so I wanted that to be tied to it. So I did a buck there, and then I did a buck over on my secret Squiggy account, which is like the only thing that's left. How you doing? You're muted, by the way, just in case.
It's true. I'm just chilling. How's my audio?
Chilling like a villain. Clear but a little quiet. I've got both pods in and the audio all the way up, and I can hear you, but you're a little
Yeah, it's okay. I like to start off a little quiet sometimes.
very subtle, bro.
How's that?
Very subtle.
Well, I try.
Wait.
You know, today was not so subtle. I got a little spunky. Yeah, but you know what? That's
Funky,
kind of the oxymoron. Well, not the oxy. I mean, never mind.
oh,
But the
right?
bottom line is that
The moron, just the moron, not the oxy.
anyway, moving right along. It's been an interesting week. Really good weekend, and
Oh, okay, good. It like interesting week when you're just on Monday evening could be good or bad. But good weekend is always good.
yeah, well, and I'm basically adding the entire week since last Monday. So how's that? But
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it.
yeah, things are happening, and so definitely excited for being here with you guys. Play a little music, and did we actually get a guest after all? What's happening tonight?
So what we're looking for, we were gonna have a possible the Celo blockchain, which is which I don't know a lot about, and it's kind of intriguing. I was a little confused because so there is an option if you were to donate a certain USDC through Celo chain that you would have gotten like a big boost in the Giveth campaign. You would have gotten like more rewards and maybe more or like higher multiplier and I think more rewards back, some of that rewards back in regen. So I think Celo also is maybe tied in, with some regen stuff like over on Warpcast. And I haven't been active over there with all my dental stuff. I've been sort of taking it easy and being a little bit more disconnected than usual. But I did see that they're interested in coming and talking about it. So I was actually last week because we still had like, the rest of the afternoon or something. Oh no, they had extended it till the end of last Friday. So last week we were talking about, the donations and the different multipliers, excuse me, for the Giveth campaign, for the Watuha community, the Ancestral Knowledge University. And so I was looking, and I've plugged in plenty of RPCs on my MetaMask, and generally it's pretty straightforward. And you can double check a few reputable sites, and you're like, okay, yeah, the information's the same. I'm gonna trust putting this in my wallet. But looking through some different Celo stuff, I was seeing like different um, maybe network sites and like different info in that within that RPC. So I was a little confused, and then I finally found some of their material, and it was trying to like explain to me the different reasons why you'd use a different explorer and stuff like this in the RPC settings. And one of the things, like the first one, that was like the recommended one, was like you need to sign with your private key every time you use a transaction. I was like, are you just talking about a regular signature, or I need to like plug in like my private key or something? So I got a little spooked off and I didn't put it in. So I just did the normal donations I did boost the project with my givebacks, which hopefully went through, because also the give back page is very funky and buggy and like I've staked a few times, but then sometimes I'll go back and it's like you haven't staked, but it's really just not connecting.
Yeah,
Um,
that that
Anyhow,
process was
this
so wonky to
oh
me. I did not.
yeah,
Well,
if
I gave, but I did not do the boost.
yeah, if it was a lot easier to connect your Gitcoin passport without all the double, triple, quadruple verifications on your like stamps and stuff, I think they could, have that. But then also having the whole give back staking like interface be really buggy does not help at all. Um, I think Giveth is awesome, but they clearly need a little bit of help, both in like the a little bit in the approach to like how the tech works, and then definitely with some of the actual tech stack and dev stuff going on there, where they have some issues connecting to different, to Gnosis or Optimism for your staking and receiving staking rewards and stuff. Um, but altogether, I think it's Izzy Bahiti, hey
Indeed.
Elbow, Drago, Trizlet, good to see y'all.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch the live chat again. I enjoyed just
Yes, but of course. Oh yeah, I had not. I had been sort of
well today for sure
rambling.
was a very cool day hanging out in the spherical art zone
oh
today.
yeah,
I mean, talking about such amazing artists that he brings into his presentation. I mean,
it it always is, and I love how he kind of will take us through, just such different types of material and composition and media. It's really cool to get to see all these just incredible hand-picked artists delivered to us on a Token Smart platter every week.
it's an art tour every time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Trizlet, that is he got it. He got the looks like that is the Eric Snowfro tweet that has the contract live for signing. If you're interested, I think it's pretty historic. I think the Squiggles has been a probably one of the most solid projects out there that's an OG. I mean, you can be like punks and I guess you could say like apes, but that's been more of like a whirlwind crazy house. Whereas I'd say like punks and squiggles are just rock solid. I mean, some of the other stuff that people would really, talk about as being top notch now is like pudgies and stuff that kind of came along a little later. Um, and then having to just, continuously be on like the forefront of the tech, I think, over there. They've done good stuff, keeping it
Oh
on
yeah,
the
very cool.
blockchain.
I'm finally checking things out here. Yeah, man. So, what's new for you? What's this last week been?
Oh, not a whole lot new. Took it pretty mellow over the weekend. Although yesterday, there's a few things going on. Um, my older sister and her husband and a couple of her kids. She's got three, but two came up. Were visiting my dad's, and they were actually originally going to stay at my aunt's. It's like 30 minutes away, but she was having some like water issues or something, so they came and stayed at my dad's, and so it was nice to see them. And then also yesterday in just kind of local town, next town over, Point Reyes, you know the town.
Oh yeah.
There was my younger sister has a fermenting business where she makes like sauerkraut and things like that. Like really yummy. I got yesterday a strawberry lemon fermented sody. It tasted like the inside of a strawberry pop. It was so good.
Oh
I actually made a
man.
root beer float with a soft serve. It's also like organic and all tasty. It was
Yeah.
incredible. So
Ferments. It's become very, very clear how a healthy fermented
oh yeah, yeah.
products really are for your biome. And so,
Totally. So yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of the opening of their little shop locally here. And it's actually in kind of like this big old barn. It used to be the red barn. When I was a kid, it was full of hay and it was a red barn like for the ranches and we would make forts in the haystacks and stuff. now it's like a bougie. It was a cheese. It was like the cheese factory, like the Cowgirl Creamery for years, but they moved, and then my sister and some other local businesses got in there. And so it's a great space, and there's this big grass spot out on one side, with kind of a row of shops on one side of it. Um, so it's
Kind of
kind
where
of
the
like a
pizza
little
shop is,
enclosed
right?
area. What?
Where the pizza where the pizza place is. Is that
No,
where
not
you're?
where the pizza place is.
Oh, different. Okay.
No, that's a kind of similar grassy good area for a band. But this is actually like kind of on the other side of town. But a
Okay.
similar setup. Um, so they have yeah, it's just a nice little grassy area and some shops along the side. I could see why you would think that because it sounds like the exact same um, description.
Grassy
But it's
Collide,
actually even a
right?
little more.
Really? Oh,
So my dad played there as Banana in the Bunch with a couple of his buddies, which is an old band from the 60s. That's like pre Youngbloods. So, and there was other bands, and at first there was a master fermenter guy that's like written all these fermentation books. He's like some famous fermenter, and he spoke for a little while about fermentation and stuff. Um, and then my dad played, and there was a couple other bands, and I had left before I got to like the DJ in the evening. But it was a really fun, just festive, community activity, celebrating my sister's little fermentation business being out there open for a year, and got to hang out with family members. So it was really
I
nice.
love it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And besides that, I have been still taking it easy because the after the oral surgeries, they're like, take it easy for like a week. And usually I kind of push it, but this one was painful enough to like keep me kind of down. But today I took a decent little, maybe 20-minute walk, but by the end of it, with my blood pumping, heart rate up a little bit, I could still kind of feel it on one side. So but definitely much much better on like the inflammation and pain and stuff. So healing up good. Kind of almost can eat some more like solidish foods, but still have to be pretty careful. So all good news there, pretty much.
Oh, right on. Yeah. I mean, is it like you're on the home stretch?
Hope so. Yeah, should be. I mean, I have a check. They do like the post op in another week or so. So they'll give me like I think they'll give me the all clear when that.
Wild.
And then I've got
Okay.
like one other
I'm really,
cavity
really
regular. Yeah, I'm hoping that they're
pushing.
going to be like, great, okay, you can have the rest of your work done. I can get like the last, like, kind of regular size cavity that I have taken care of, and then see about, I don't know what in the future for some like implants or something for these holes in my mouth.
Well, right on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so last week, what happened for me, biggest thing is getting more involved in this digital rights project that I was invited into by Mr. Jack's Hideaway. And it's the primary, the, the core of it is called Ragtag Protocol. And with that, we're implementing it in a quote unquote business around it, and there's a number of people in a really informal consortium called group of advisors, and they're just such an amazing group of people. It really blows my mind, and with that, the opportunity morphed pretty massively for me from just coming in and being a fly on the wall to now I'm essentially operating as the product project manager to get dev, just organized and ultimately
Nice.
have the product moving forward. And this is in the business side, but still
Right.
involved in the protocol project. And then now I'm also supporting the founder to get all this business activities moving along. And what's cool is that there's an adjunct to the overall business with an incubator. And the
Mm,
incubator operates as not only a source of potential funding, but it's a relatively large organization of consultants, and that alone is a killer conversation. But I'm going to leave that for another day. I'm just sharing that it's been really a cool scene, and it is like really re-engage the what shall I say, spidey senses back to my
Mm.
my professional background, which I pretty much punted on because I was dealing with massive
Diving into the
PTSD. Yeah, and
and
diving
diving into the
into
crazy Web3 music
exactly,
scene, and yeah, totally,
and,
totally. Well,
and
that's
so
really cool. That's great news.
and it is blockchain based, so that's the
Hmm.
ultimate
Hmm.
binder in the whole thing. And so yeah, it's really
Bridges. We
changed.
need more bridges.
Absolutely, and it will. It's actually uh, by its design requiring that bridge into the
Hmm.
digital rights world. So yeah, yeah, it's going to be
Cool.
really awesome
Maybe
to more about it as we go.
maybe find some like avenues for fundraising, getting the Venezuelan connections up here and stuff. I know there's a good little combo going about that as well in some chats.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
Where is
Basically,
Jose? He's actually
yeah.
he'd be here by now.
I don't know. Did we? Let me just check our little
I'll just
chatty thing.
Yeah,
Did
that's what
he?
I was just going to
No,
peep the back end just to see if anything came up.
no. I
Okay,
haven't
not yet. So
seen
yeah, he's
anything.
probably either en route or I mean maybe could be just like power outage or internet outage or something like that.
Yeah, well, he really
We'll
put
see. Hopefully he
so
can hop
much
in.
effort into his fundraising and,
Oh man.
just getting the word out. I would imagine, and I wouldn't blame him if he's taking a few days
So
off.
this is just
And
siestas, yeah.
yeah,
No, he did awesome. I was able to, even though I didn't do the cello part, I was able to donate a couple bucks to a couple other projects, as well as boost the Watuha one and then donate to that. I saw, I don't know, it was up to like maybe three something. I was hoping it would have, got a little more. I think it was kind of tough timing,
yep,
um, with the way the markets just got slammed, like kind of right before it started. And even with the extension, they haven't really recovered until like now. So now we're seeing a little pump, which is interesting. Um,
yeah, absolutely.
uh, I
We're
guess
happy.
yeah, I guess like stocks and stuff are up too. Something, I
And
don't know. I
some
saw,
world event that happened yesterday that, yeah, that
yeah,
doesn't need to
yeah.
be
Well,
covered
yeah,
here.
there's the
But yeah,
there's the whole shenanigans, craziness going down out and around. But
and
yeah,
so
so
with
I think
that,
that
there might be some of that on the crypto side for the likelihood of that ascension. And
true,
so with
true.
that, the I did manage to get the Oatua project over the 400 mark. So
Mm,
yeah, he did
nice,
that.
nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait a little just because of other donations and a couple, need to help out help people, and then I just had like unexpected costs with all this dental shit. But yeah, I'll be able to
Oh yeah.
fairly soon.
No,
Um,
it's been a really interesting ride because to really get clear on what projects really matter and what coolness factor one thing or another is, and then community interaction with so many PFPs or metaverse focused projects that I've been part of, really been awesome. But watching them all, or so
long
many of them, go to zero, that's like
longevity,
my go to
longevity.
zero wallet is at its
Yeah,
prime right
huge.
now, and
Yeah,
it's
I
just really got me. And that's why I'm so motivated to help. Well, first one on the list is help Jose. I
yeah,
really
yeah.
want to see every potential that he has reached, you know I mean, really, he, let's just be clear. He has so much to learn and so much to give, and so
Hmm.
the sooner that that learning can happen, that connection can be made. Because I know he's struggled a lot, and I mean, it's really important for me to see him get through that sooner,
Yeah,
so that ultimately that success can come to him. And more than anything else, he's got a fabulous amount of talent in his world, and
totally.
especially with his lovely partner Vanessa. What? Yeah. Anyway, and there he is in the audience. So I just embarrassed
Oh,
myself. But
nice.
hello, hello. I meant every word of it. You know that.
Oh,
Yay.
I just hear the last minute. That was really sweet. I don't know what was
Mhm.
happening, but happy
So
Monday.
Happy Monday. Nice to
happy
see ya.
Monday.
How it's
But
going? I just forgot for a moment. I was all my day waiting for 8 p.m., but we got some visit today in the house from some friends that we love. Actually, they don't have internet in their house and they needed to do some work, so we had an office day today in the house, and I was just hanging out
so you're
with
trained.
them, and yeah, the time passed. Happy week, guys. How having for you?
Been pretty good. Good start. I had a nice weekend. Shared that like my younger sister has a little shop in like the next town over for fermented foods, and it was their 1 year anniversary, and so there was a little like kind of party, like what do they call it, a jubilee is what they called it, and there was like a few different bands. My dad played music over there with some of his old buddies, and so yeah, it was really that was really fun. And otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty good start to the day. I was talking a little bit about a cool thing with the Chromie Squiggles, where they're finally minting like the last one that was held back for years, and anybody can send like a couple bucks worth of ETH to the contract address, and it's like a signature, and then they send that ETH back, but you do spend a couple bucks of gas that would be not recovered.
Um, that's
But yeah, how are you doing?
uh, I have been connected with fermented foods since a little. I have tried this chucrut. Are you familiar with that? Chucrut? Is that a name?
Sugar? Not, I'm not sure, unless there could be another name for it, or I mean,
It's
she makes all sorts of stuff, and I'm sure she would know.
do you know fermented cabbage?
Oh, is that just sauerkraut? Maybe that's just how you say sauerkraut.
It can be sauerkraut. It's cabbage with salt
Yes,
and
sauerkraut.
yes.
That's like the
Uh,
main one. But they also make a lot of other like they're like El Cortito is like a Mexican style more. It's like bigger chunks of carrots and jalapeno and onion and stuff like that fermented. Or they even make like fruit sodas, fermented fruit sodas, and I mean all sorts of different stuff. Carrots and chili pepper paste and lemons and like just all sorts of different stuff that they ferment up and jar up and sell.
that's so great. That gives so much like nuances of flavor. Um, I,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not I'm not that deep into all those things. Like I would love to meet more of that. Um, but what I saw the other day was Netflix documentary. The name is Salt, Fat, Acid, Head. I don't know if you guys had watched it, but it's four
Not yet.
episodes. Yes, did you saw that?
No, not yet. But if it's
Oh,
about fermentation, I'll check it out because yeah, it's so good for just your
oh
gut
man,
health and everything.
it's not only about salt, but it's well, every episode is so incredible. ¿Qué pasa, Abril? Here we have a guest tonight, Abril.
Hola.
Yeah, um, there's in the episode of Salt, they go to Japan or China. Can't remember. I think it was Japan, and they made an episode into soy sauce. And
Mm,
they went into the roots of soy sauce, and they visit a family that makes soy sauce by tradition, and they show you these big barrels of a specific type of wood that has hundreds of years, and that is the reason why the soy sauce is that good in those places, because of the hundreds of years of the wood of those barrels.
so
uh,
cool.
it's amazing because they have a relationship with the soy sauce. It's a ferment, so
Right? Yeah.
they
Yeah.
they have a relationship with the soy sauce where they chant to the soy sauce, where they know, because of the like when you chant to the soy sauce, like it start bubbling more. It's like something they have noticed, so they chant,
Right.
and depending on the bubbling, it's like they know it's like
Like
on the
what chant to like do for what bubbles, and no, it's crazy because there's definitely a high content of water in soy sauce, and we all know that water has like pretty strong attributes towards energies and memory and whatnot from the pretty incredible scientific experiments have been done there. Also by a Japanese scientist, was the guy that first started doing that sort of time. I forget his name. But
yeah. And
yeah, really cool.
something interesting is that they said that nobody in Japan taste that soy sauce these days. It's like the preparation, the traditional way of preparing it is just preserved like in that family. It's like it got almost lost. Actually, they say that one of the barrels it got damaged, so they went to the manufacturers of these barrels, which was another family that has a tradition of barrel creation, and they were
Hmm.
so happy to have this like
Oh, to
uh,
have an old barrel back to like be able to see exactly how it's done, right?
they didn't receive orders of those barrels since the Second World War.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. That is a really great documentary. The name is Salt, Acid, Fat, and Head, or at least that four words in different order. And they for Italy, for the fat, they go to Italy, and they go to an area where they have like different porks, and these porks, all their lives they ate. Um, I don't know how to say these names. Do you know the typical fruit that squirrels ate, like in the Ice Age?
Acorns,
I don't
acorns,
know.
maybe.
I I'm not sure. It's like this. It's the squirrel from Ice Age. She's always looking
Yeah,
for one of
yeah.
these. Yeah. So
I think it's an acorn.
these pigs, these pigs ate that seed, and they also ate almonds. Like that is the trees that they have in their area. So these pigs are fit only into these true fruits. So they also keep these pigs like really clean. So like those are pigs that don't smell bad at all. Like it's what they say, like like the pig is dirty. They show you that they're not, and it looks like that meat of those specific pigs, it's super great because like the fat in the meat is what indicates or like what creates the flavor, and this is a fat that is made of these two fruits, almonds and the other one, and looks like the the meat has these nuances of these fruits, which I think it's amazing. um, and
I
yeah,
want to
it's
try that bacon.
oh my god, and they have an ancestrality into the way of chopping the bacon because I learned so much in that documentary about food, but they say that in Europe they were like these families that they were like butchers, like delivery butchers that has their pigs with them. So they were like nomad farmers of their pigs. So they went by through city, between city and city, like creating sausages for the people knocking door to door selling sausages. And I don't know, that was amazing because in the art of chopping that these butchers had, they had ancestral poems that helped them to like synthesize ways
Remember
of
the like
techniques.
all the
Yeah.
different cuts. Yeah. That's cool. I bet those traveling sausage makers also like you get to like a village and you're like, "Oh, they have like apples and or like raisins or fennel or whatever." And you're like, "Okay, this sausage is going to be like using the local, current crops that they have to add in. So maybe like you get like a bunch of fennel from a fennel farmer and you trade them some sausage, and now the sausage that you're selling around town is like tastier because it's got the local fennel root. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, but pretty cool.
Yeah, but it should be like that. And I think that's a great, like a healthy way to eat meat. Like this way, like it should be the most natural way of eating meat. Like I don't know how to say that in English. We say here like embutidos, all that you make like jam and like all these foods, and yeah, they are not usually healthy because they have like all these like how do you
A
say
lot of
this,
processing. Yeah. Like processed foods,
estabilizantes,
preservatives. Yeah,
preservatives.
preservatives. Yeah, yeah, stabilizers, colors, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, like with this way of creating jam and stuff, like you get a more healthy product. And I think that's the issue with today's product, like all this
Oh, yeah.
like vision of like it's going to travel a lot of miles, so it has to last.
Well, it's super, it's been like centralized. So yeah, you have these giant factories that produce crazy amounts and it has to be shipped all over the world. And so yeah, and that's one of the things the guy at the fermentation thing was talking about is like the one of the reasons fermentation is, so useful in a lot of areas and historically is because you're preserving the food. But when we switch to canning, like
Mm.
250 years ago or something, 300 years ago, maybe at max. And in the early days, it was a lot worse. You'd get a lot of botulism because it's just
What is
creating an environment.
but
Botulism is like botulism is a disease that killed a lot of people. It's a food disease that it's not like super current, um, prevalent these days, probably because of all the like, well, it's specifically because of the nitrates that they put in things like sausage or canned meat, especially, will make it so that botulism can't develop. But in the old days, canned food was like that was like the sketchy thing. Like you get a bad can of whatever, and it's got botulism. You're pretty much gonna like I guess you can poop yourself to death.
I went to Google it. Yeah, not cool.
Yeah.
Botulismo says here.
So in a food that is fermented, even and he was mentioning some like zero salt ferments and stuff like that. But in a fermented food, like the botulism can't grow.
I just shared a video, guys, with Emilio on the live chat. If you can check it out, we went to give them some fruits, and he entered it into my shirt, and it's just so beautiful to have that opportunity to connect with him. And the video is so cool. I'm looking forward to share it on the Regen channel and make some vibes with that. But she's just so great to share with him. I We had like a couple of months without going to that side of the mountain, and yeah, we missed him so much. We went sharing with him, and he was really happy because we shared with them some arándanos. Let me go deeper that. That's an interesting word. English. It should be something berry.
Cranberries. Cranberry.
Cranberries. I think it was cranberries.
Super cute. Yeah, that's super funny. He goes like inside your shirt like a backpack.
Blueberries. Blueberries.
Blueberry.
Oh, blueberries, blueberries. Sorry, arándanos. Yes, yes.
Sorry,
It's not
but at the same time, the other possible translation is cranberry. So I'm not sure. Uh,
trying to think of what it says on the like cranberry juice down in Costa. I think
I
it is
say
around.
today many types of berries in a survival like video I went through, and they are just so much wild berries. I think there are more berries in the states than here. Like at
We have a
least,
lot.
yeah. I think I don't. I'm not sure what I'm saying right now, but I do think it is like that because like all the information
Well,
about berries I found have been like on English most of the time. It's not like here we don't have,
just
but
just
certainly.
in my area, I can say I've picked and eaten fresh blackberries, raspberries, thimbleberries, gooseberries, loganberries. Um, there's more for sure. Huckleberries, some blueberries, but they're not wild here. Um, what else? Definitely there's a couple others. What are the ones that grow on the big tree? Uh, mulberry, mulberries. Yeah, lots of berries, lots of berries. I like them.
Huckleberries.
Huckleberries are one of my faves.
Huckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are English names. All of
Those are
those.
really small and
Like
lower bushes.
maybe we have the names here, but like the name in English already indicates a segmentation, like an order, and the names here for those type of berries are super decentralized.
Mm,
Like yeah, like
like in
you
one area. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, like little pear, like los arándanos, la frambuesa, la,
Oh
la
yeah,
fresa, ya,
strawberries.
frambuesa y fresa,
Oh,
strawberry and
frambuesa.
cranberry, I think.
Frambuesa is, I think, raspberry. I think fresa is definitely strawberry.
Raspberry, yeah,
Yeah.
arándano, blueberry, and there's mora, that is
Oh,
blackberry.
yeah, blackberry. Yeah.
There's eh, mi amor, ¿cómo se llamaba esta manzanita deliciosa? I think the name it was literally little apple.
Oh, like maybe
Manzanita.
it's like a mountain apple or a crab apple, one of those
It's,
types of
we
little
don't have
little apples.
we don't have apples here like directly. No, we have in certain areas, but this fruit a friend told me because it has a big seed in the middle, but
Mm,
the flavor is like sweet cheese. It's a really
right.
amazing flavor. It tastes like an apple cake already,
Ooh, yummy. Nice.
like a cheesecake. It's pretty great. It's like an apple cheesecake or something
Mhm.
like that. And my friend told me that that was a sacred fruit in India because it has like a lot of benefits. We got gift a lot of these fruits in a town we were sharing a few months ago, and it was a super great flavor. Not used to that. I'm seeing felons sharing some flying company.
Serious jet. Yeah. Damn.
That's a flying
What
simulator.
kind of, don't know what kind of mock that's hitting.
Well, guess what? It is currently doing. Let me see. Let me confirm.
What is this, felons?
It is doing 5,900 knots, otherwise known as Mach 14, which
That's
is cuckoo nuts. Not possible, but
crazy.
it's a
No.
Lockheed uh, Valkyrie, and
Damn.
it's one of the most cool jets that ever existed, and definitely faster than a SR-71. But it was just it never
Looks pretty
really
crazy.
took off, so to speak.
Mhm.
But
But
yeah,
It's a
this
little
is
simulator.
flight simulator that I screw around with quite a bit, and so I have it running in the background. So I've been intending on sharing this for a long time, but because I'm going so fast, I'm gonna try and land here. We'll see if I can actually pull this off. Because normally, if you
Oh, dude.
and so what's cool is that you actually have pay $10 a year, and then you can get full GPS.
Nice.
And with that, well, this is kind of
At
a
that speed,
rural.
don't you have to start prepping like halfway around the world?
Yeah, just about. But one thing that this thing has. Watch this. Oops. Here we go.
so it's like theoretically,
Shoot.
like in theory, you are learning how to handle one of those things.
Mhm.
In theory.
Uh,
It's a big jump to Mach 14 from a simulator, but I bet doing a lot of the simulators, on smaller craft would probably be super helpful.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
maybe
Well,
not for this type, but because like this is a, I would say like a professional plane, but it's like they're already a
Yeah.
professional. But yeah,
unfortunately, I only have my keyboard and mouse to control it. So
Yeah.
the main
It's a little
thing
different in the cockpit. Oh, there you go. You're
I
upside
have.
down.
I'm rolling.
Oh, I saw that in
It's
a movie.
crashing.
That's impossible, fans.
So now
Eh,
I've you can see how this dial is decelerating. So if I
Yeah.
put it on autopilot for a second, it's now down to 3,800 knots. So let's keep this slowing down here.
Is the spinning part of slowing down? I've never been on a jet
No,
where they do that to slow down.
no, it's just
Coming in for landing. Woo!
no. Uh, what it's the problem is that
yeah.
it it's too sensitive left right, and
Mm.
so it spins really easily
And do you have a flying like control, or are you doing it just with keyboard?
just with keyboard. Yeah, I would love to have a airplane flying yoke, as some people
Like
will
a
call them.
yoke for the computer, that'd make it feel way more realistic, I'm sure.
It would be so awesome.
Yeah, I remember.
What's the graphics like when you crash and burn? Does it explode or does it just like you fail?
No, it's just it's Gumby. It just bounces.
It bounces.
but
Pretty
but what's
realistic.
cool, uh, what's exactly? Well, you can put in crash mode, but that just says okay, it's been damaged. But what I love to do is go into the mountains and do canyon flying, as they say.
Ooh, cool.
And I've got it set up with just a little bit of weather. So
I have been playing these days too. I have been playing a game on the Steam. I I talked with a payer and I told him like, "Yo, if I send you some crypto, you will buy a game on Steam and send it to me." And he told me like, "Sure." And I know this game since 2013, but I never had the chance to
Yeah.
buy it before. And I was like, I felt it so guilty to play that game. I felt it so guilty to buy the game that I had to buy it. Like it was like breaking a rule. Like because all the games I ever play in my game have been like pirate games. It's not like I want them to be pirate. It's like it's the way I have to play them. But this game,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
really hard to find pirate. Like I have been trying to play it since I was 13 years old, and I bought it, and I just feel so happy about the game. And I didn't even play it like that much, but I just feel so happy it's there. The game is
You're all, it's mine.
Project Some Point. Did you ever saw that game before?
Oh, I've heard of it for sure, but I never played it. Maybe I saw it at some point, but it sounds super familiar.
Oh my god, that game is so interesting because it's like this game, Saving the Distance, because it's like a simulation game. This is a survival simulation game. Yeah, and it pretends to be like the most realistic zombie experience. So it's not about the zombies, the game. It's actually about getting food with decent amount of calories and having enough like clothing for the winter and having water resources and
Right.
farming and so much things. Like the game is so like big in those
Super
mechanics.
in depth. Yeah.
Like to have a car, you have to find a car and then you have to see if everything works, like all the tires, like the motor, the battery, like you can see like all the parts. And if your car is not working, you have to find them in the planet, like looking for cars. And then you can study like mechanics, and you can study all sort of things. And if you enrich the experience with mods, it also goes like so vast. And they have an online experience that grows the experience so much, because like you can like survive with other friends or like create other like different teams and
Cool.
raid. It's pretty interesting. So I have been diving into the game like for this couple of months, and they actually make movies out of this game. Like people like
Crazy.
content creators grab the game and they create their own experience where they simulate like the Last of
Your
Us
own
type of,
zombie film. Like,
yeah, like a zombie
yeah.
film. And it's so wonderful because like this community of players, the game is somehow somewhat open source, so you can get mods in the Steam store directly. And a lot of people created like soft mod to create more expression of the character. So what you get is like a zombie Sims, you know, like the Sims but zombie.
Cool. Yeah.
And yeah, I have been checking the game. I have been exploring it for this
Dude,
couple of months.
you should come up with like a kind of alternate um game experience maybe to build in Roblox and apply at the Slingshot DAO leaderboard.
Oh
There's
yeah.
we play sometimes the simulator survival games in Roblox, but most of them are much more basic. You're just like running from like, meteors that are falling from the sky and trying to survive, which are also fun. They're just simple.
Ah, I love
But I
that.
haven't seen a simulator that's like in depth over there yet. So
I
it'd be
love that.
something.
But yeah, I love zombie games, like all of them. But this Project Zombie had something special, like the like if you get into a window, if you get inside a house through a window, you can like cut your feet if you have crystals, broken crystals on it. And your like wound can get infected, or you can get different types
Damn.
of wounds if
Right.
you, it's so much stuff.
So then you have to find like medicine if you didn't like clean off the windowsill before climbing in. That's really cool. I've heard of Project Zomboid. I've heard the name a bunch of times. I'd never played. I never did a lot of Steam games. I had downloaded a few, and maybe some of them more like kind of somehow with a crypto tie-in. Um, but yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah, I have been having my time this a couple of months, like just checking it, not playing it as I would like, because most of the time I join and I don't even know what to do. Like there's so much stuff that I don't even know what to do. Like, yeah, I just start the game, I check a kitchen, I see like, oh, this is a can opener. Oh, this is, I don't know. I just get amazed by all the teeny things they have that yeah, I just get into a couple of house, a couple of blocks, and the game is as big as Kentucky, because the game is like inspired in Kentucky. So it has like all these different like places that simulate somehow like real places.
Pretty cool. Oh, speaking of games, and I haven't been playing lately. I want to try and get back over. Um, Nifty Island, is in their third. They've had like the airdrop, like the island token's gonna be coming, and you can earn like the kind of game points by like playing games in there and stuff, or like going and doing the little missions. It's
Who?
they're in the third at Nifty Island. They're in like the third airdrop,
Mm.
the third and final like airdrop thing. So if when you go and play and accumulate points, I think it's like the last couple weeks to go and do that and participate to earn points towards that airdrop. So
Ah,
just I haven't been playing much lately
I
just because I haven't
give
been
me
online a lot.
give me the give me the give me the link. I will try to download. I have this new
Did you
computer.
ever? Oh, okay. Let me see. I'll send it to you. Let's see. I need to get on my computer for that, and I'm on like iPad phone. Um, but yeah, probably just what is it? It's just niftyisland.com, niftyisland.org. Let's see.
Uh, no, looks like I already downloaded.
Niftyisland.com. It will
Uh,
probably need like if it opens up and like starts refreshing because they've added a bunch of new games and stuff too. So like I opened it up for the first time in like a couple weeks the other day, and it was like there's a big update, refresh. It downloaded new assets and stuff.
did you send me a link to check it out?
No, but let me see. I think I did find. I mean, I
Uh,
would just go to niftyisland.com, and yeah, that's where you would either sign in, sign up, or download. I'll put it in the chat. It is in the chat. That should be the link. Although I could, if
yes,
I
it.
sign in and stuff on my computer, I could probably give you a. Let me do it. Let me do it this way. Let me give me a sec. I'm gonna send you my game link like thing, and so you
Okay.
might get extra points by signing in with the. There's definitely some codes that I have for signing in. Yeah, the growth codes. Okay, let me copy one of these. Oh, a couple people used. Nice. Mascaris used one. Okay, so I'm dropping in the chat a growth code for you, Jose. So when you go over and like if it asks you to set up your thing, then there'll be a place either under like sign up or after you sign up under the airdrop thing where you can put in the code and get an extra 1,000 points or something. And did you land? Oh, I looked away for a minute. Did you land, felons? Was it a success?
did. I
Oh,
did.
I
It was
missed
a
it.
total success. But
I
now
was
I'm gonna
watching when you
land
were
on.
coming in. Is
Check this
that a
out.
Binks plane?
Almost. No, it's an ATR 72-600, and it is one of
Well,
the most
shoot.
cool airplanes there ever was. Because it serves the Bahamas. It's a
Uh-huh.
really island hopping friendly airplane, and it can stop in very small, short runways.
Ah, so you're landing it on a carrier.
Like, I'm like, oops, uh,
Oh,
wrong
that
button.
wasn't landing on a carrier. That was
Uh,
kamikaze.
I pressed option, and look what happened. Oh my god.
It was
Well,
funny
let's
also
try that
because
again.
the game crashed also in the moment that it crashed, and the image
Double
just
crash.
paused. Yeah.
And here I am trying to be so smooth.
Easy. I have to click on play. I have to click on the niftyisland.com. I have to click on play now, right? I click there.
Yeah.
It sends me to a screen that nothing happens anymore.
Uh, um, do you have the app icon already downloaded on your screen? Like the Nifty Island, what is it called? The Nifty Island
No,
opener?
I have a Nifty Island installer that adds. That's what I have.
Right. Hold on a sec. 'Cause, yeah,
Maybe
I
I.
remember
Oh,
you're gonna have to probably, or you might need to run an uninstall. And I did that a while back. I got like the instructions from them, and it was basically, but you had to have the game open, I think, to do the uninstall, maybe. Um,
but I don't know. I don't have the game.
but I
Uh,
have
Okay.
the Nifty Island launcher. which is in my program files / Nifty Island on my
Let
computer.
me go check program files. Nifty OPQ OPQ. No, disco.
Or yeah, do a search on your computer for Nifty Island and see what files come up.
Yeah, it takes a lot of resources out of a
See.
computer, though, for sure.
And
Yeah, that's true.
It's a heavy, heavy, heavy app. But
Mhm.
yeah, I actually went back into my island maybe a week ago, and I readjusted things, kind of made it, brought it back towards just me, not top down anymore. So it's kind of a lot of work to maintain enough points, let alone build on the island enough. I mean, man, the people that are growing
Yeah,
there, huge respect to them, and it's like there's just no way I can, you know, live that life. There's just no way I
yeah,
can mine
it's a
bottom.
daily grind if you want to like
Yeah,
try and get a big drop for sure.
exactly. Now, as are most projects, I mean, I'm telling you, it's amazing how many. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I'm trying to farm the region token. Like, are you talking about farming tokens? I don't know if you were
well,
talking about that. That's
any project that
Yeah,
requires, you know, any amount of grinding, whether it be farming, whether it be,
whatever.
you know,
It's YC.
quests, you name it. It's all quests when you add it all up, right? But yeah, I
yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
Time
how's that
sinks.
going? Uh,
I'm
What's
posting on Warpcast and I have getting some support on Region Token. The thing is that it doesn't have any value right now, but
right?
Right.
let's do a quick math. Let's do a quick transparent math. I think I've received
Calculation.
around I think I received about 400,000 tokens already in tips.
Wow.
And let's say it goes to 1 cent.
Hmm.
That's
You know
four
what I
thousand
was gonna
dollars.
say earlier is that when you were talking about
Boom.
pork, I was looking at Warpcast. You know how I sent that message not too long ago saying, "Yeah, I love everybody who's following me. Is this place should I keep on doing stuff?" And yeah, a lot of encouragement. Thank you. But then all of a sudden, somebody dropped ham chain into my wallet, so I had ham tokens.
Oh, do you do those? I think
Yeah,
those might be decent actually. I wanted to get some ham. I saw a
yeah.
lot of activity around it, but I never like did all the things to get it.
But I have to see how much ham I actually got, and of course, I got it from this. It could be spam. It's called Deployer. Currently deploying unofficial head platypus of LP. So who knows? Maybe he's a. This might actually be a total scammer.
The
Uh,
head platypus.
yeah. So anyway, there's a link, ham.fun/dashboard. So
So what I would do is probably go to Warpcast, put like, ham in the search bar, go
yep.
to the official ham channel and check the link there.
Or go to a browser that
Safety
doesn't
first.
have a wallet attached to it.
You could do that too.
And I'm just gonna.
I don't know. I'm trying to see how much tokens did I receive, and
Looks
it's
legit.
it's weird. They have all these different pages to
Right. Sometimes
look at.
through the Warpcast, I don't even know if I got all my like people were like 50,000 degen or 5,000 degen, and I've always only had like the same amount kind of in my wallet. So I don't know where those are supposed to go.
Um, I'm checking more here. Yeah, there is a page. Sorry, I don't know if this is a real page. Just don't put your wallet inside. It works without the wallet. But this page, it's like a region leaderboard where you can check out how much tips have you gotten from the real ones that trigger the bot. And I have gotten a couple of tips, um, but a ver. Yeah, I don't know how to read these guys.
You want to
Send.
share screen or
Yes, yes. Give me a moment. Aquí. Toda la pantalla. Dale. Okay, did you see this now?
okay, now I see it. The little mushroom.
Yeah, they have different windows like this. They have a couple ones on the page, like 5 or 7, 8. Yeah, they have 8 different dashboards. They all represent different things, but I think this is the one that I'm interested in. Yeah. Yeah, it's this one. So these that says receiver are the ones that I'm receiving with my name, but it also shows the one that I gave. So I have 420 daily
Right.
tokens to give,
Nice.
and I have been receiving from 11 regions today. Just today, I made, yeah,
Well,
like,
there's one that looks like 420,000.
no, but this is the, did you say this one?
Oh, their
This
allowance.
this is the daily
Wow, that's
allowance.
huge.
Yeah, so there are a couple of big whales. So if I go here, the first I received at 420, then 42,000, 42,100. Oh no, no, this is not. These are the ones. Sorry, I was like, oh my god.
But yeah, you
But
got some nice big ones there.
this is a big one that I think I never got from the region people. Actually,
Oh
I
yeah.
it's really good that I'm seeing it because I think they didn't send me this.
Oh,
So
looks like
let's.
they over tipped.
They overtip.
Denied. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this live.
Yeah, it showed their balance was 0.
Yeah. So hi Shroom Chat. This is for the like the direct people from. I was into Dune checking the dashboard when I noticed it. The tip you sent to me was invalid. It's with a U, like I wrote it.
Invalid. INV.
Oh, I was trying to be fancy. Sorry. um,
Due to 0 balance.
I think I'm going to share like the full
Or
screen.
yeah, yeah.
You can check. I received it that never got sent. I. Okay. I think that's it. Miren,
Yeah.
they are hiring an on-chain data scientist for base. I don't know what does that mean, but
Oh, they need
yeah.
somebody to check their tips bot. because that's probably happens a lot. Is they're like, oh, we're sending out a bunch of tips, and then if they zero out, a bunch of those tips won't go through necessarily unless they have some bot that tells them.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I think it's not my work. Um, yeah, it was interesting to check these. Um, so there's a couple ones that they got received. I have here 22,000, 12,000, 24,000, 30,000. Then here it's 50,000, 60,000,
That looks like you
7,000.
accumulated quite a bit.
This is no, sorry.
How much do you
Yeah,
have total?
no, it's not 60,000. Sorry, it's 20,000, 50,000. I don't know the total. Um, I think I have to summarize them all. Let me
Right.
go
Is
try.
it like still off chain or something?
I think this is
So,
somewhere
it's on like
under
a
the
layer that
rainbow.
isn't live. Yeah.
I'm not actually
Otherwise, it
know.
should just be in your wallet on
Yeah, it
whatever
must be.
L fucking 3.
Yeah, I don't know where it is actually. So oh,
So easy. What's this code that you dropped in?
That is a code for Nifty Island. If you did not qualify in like the previous airdrops, you can plug that in and it'll get you some like airdrop points and some blooms or something.
Ooh. I'll try
You
that.
can check if it's eligible. Yeah, I've got plenty.
You the man.
so 420 plus 1234 plus 420 plus 22222 plus 12 big plus 24 big plus 420 plus 3000 3 big plus 7777 plus 100k. I think I'm not going to put that 100k because I still don't receive them officially. I'm just going to ignore them.
Yeah, but I bet with the message they'll probably be like, oh, sorry that we didn't notice that, and hopefully send it over.
Somebody sent me two region.
Is that a growth code?
Growth code, yes.
Where do I enter a growth code?
420.
If you have your own growth codes, felons, then you're probably not eligible.
Nah. Dang.
Okay.
Man,
This is a
I
quick
almost
number.
yeah.
This is a quick number. 240,000.
Plus
So
possibly another 100,000.
no, this is counting the 100. This is counting the 100.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice
But
bag.
it's a nice bag, and we will know in the full moon if this is available. But
Is
I
that
don't
when they
know.
launch?
So no, they have these tokenomics. They call them regionomics, and these regionomics they gave the tokens every full moon. So for this will be on the
Ah,
21. Every full moon they will
nice.
give the tokens. This is interesting because on full moon there's a tendency for tokens to go high. I don't know. I don't know how much they know about like the moon and actually like like a more like subtle side of things connected to economy. I don't know. I don't know how much into the weeds. They have been into like those topics. You know, like I don't know how much of this like region trending is commercial and what's like conscious. As far as I understand, like this movement born in one of these ETH conferences, where a bunch of people that was into the degen narrative said like, we cannot go more degen, we have to go regen, because if not, money is going loose, and maybe with that we can create some impact. And from there, they have been, moving, like creating marketing. But I don't know how, like time will tell. These are the first months, and they have.
Yeah.
But in Brussels, they were doing a couple of things. They were having some movement. They have been doing some onboarding. They have been connected with Ethereum, and with Ethereum, no, sorry, with Giveth, with all this Giveth initiative. So
Right.
a lot of people from those ecosystem are like really cool people. Like I like them, like they are working.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I don't know the outcome of all of these, but maybe they want to do some good. We don't know how much it will be. Uh, but yeah, I hope it has some impact. Actually, my guess is that if the Degen token, if the Bonsai token had holded some value, it went even to 2 cents. This token has to go up in a way or other. Like it's having a lot of movement from a lot of people, so it has to go. It has to be at least at the beginning up. I think that the liquidity of Degen will go somewhere to Regen, and maybe some other projects will want to put some liquidity into the Regen narrative for their projects if they are doing impact. And they already
Definitely.
have been doing some estadísticas
Hmm.
statistics, right?
Statistics. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Statistics, and they showed that the number of interactions in WordCast growth in meaning through the region initiative. And
Nice.
what do they mean by meaning? What do you mean? I think that they mean
Right.
like maybe they have been saying less and less of "let's fucking go, Degens, whoop whoop,"
Yeah.
and they have been saying more like "remember to touch grass." Like I don't know, but yeah,
Hopefully it means more actual conversation, like you're saying, not just, hey, let's go, good GM, like, and people
oh
are
my god,
doing
yeah,
something.
yeah. So I think something maybe can happen. This is also like for felons. Like he wanted to know if it's good to share here. And today in the region channel, I made this post. It says, "Remember uh, to be a region also in your marketing practices. Web3 is here to allow us to make a difference." And that message got like really good reception from the community that have been on the region. I mean, it got
Nice.
8 likes. They are 8 likes, but it got like 200 views, and it have been my most successful tweet here. That tells me that there's a space for your way of saying things. And with all these like artificial intelligence users that are trying to farm the token, you will see a lot of people
Yeah.
actually wanting to see organic content. So
Right.
I have been exploring just to share my goofy ideas. Um,
Yep.
I share this one. I really like this one. It says, and I was sharing this because of the GM. One of the things that I think it creates the most lack of good content is the cult of the GM cult. Like everything that creates a cult, it creates a, a disconnection from the actual purpose of an initiative. So I feel so much disconnection from the GM that I started on page DAO to say buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches. That is my way to say hello in my country. You know, I'm so far more rooted to the buenos dias than to the GM. So I'm going to go for that. So I said, buenos dias, don't let the group pressure to cook your popcorn. Don't let the group pressure to cook your popcorn. Choose your reaction times. And that is so important for us in any way, like in what curation refers. Like um, it's just so much
For
speed,
sure.
and not only the speed, like these times are speed, but everybody has a different time, and the first like respectful boundary is like, trying to understand within yourself what is your healthy times, like talking about like maybe like stress, anxiety, melancholy, past and future, and like being here and now. Finding our time is like, I always imagine, like, like pretty fantastic. How fantastic will be that you are living like in a musical video, like whenever you are walking, your walk is in tune with the trees dancing, and like that feeling that everything is somehow like in a cosmical orchestra. And I think that, you know polishing that idea, it's not necessarily fantastic to perceive that you are in your own times, even though the universe and that everything is moving and it's on chaos. It's not necessarily out of that a call for you to be stressed out. Yeah, I think that's the tool of music, like a mirror for us to connect with more natural organical times. And sometimes on Web3, people say in GM they can get more tips than you sometimes, but those times are going to change when they change, and for them to change,
Yeah.
it needs some it needs some action from another sector. Like, things, they just not disappear, but like the trendings do. And when you are not doing like a trending, you just have to communicate. I'm trying to get into peace with creating content every day, like at least on Warpcast. I'm tweeting every day. I already have a 15 days streak on the region channel. Of course, I'm
Uh,
having some attention. I won the region of the day. Like, I want to use all of that to connect with my audience, because you have heard me here defining audience, defining the music, and it's like a pretty region target. So
yeah.
I'm having faith, like good faith, in that all these people, that most of the people, maybe not into the region team, because I don't know who is running region, but a lot of people into the leaderboard are users that I have met around the years, and that I
Nice.
really like seeing them having interactions through Warpcast. Like, it feels like a really interesting way of putting things on the scene that are not necessarily DAO related. So that's pretty powerful to get into a less bullshit into the space, like for people to.
Yeah.
I think yeah, even if it's marketing, if it's not as organic as the word region pretends, I think it's creating positive impact. But it depends on us to not to say GM with buenos dias or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think hopefully we'll see it go up to penny and above. DGen had, gotten up to like four cents, I think. And it's down to like
Yeah,
a penny these days and stuff. But a lot of stuff took hits
yeah.
recently. Uh,
I also uploaded a smart contract to participate on the vibes of the past week, and it went really good in votes, but we didn't get into the winners of the week. I was like really sad by that, because in strategy terms, I made a song that was a Web3 concept that was inspired into ancestrality to crowdfund the What to Have community project and explain all of that. And
Yeah.
I just think it was one of my best publications, and I was like, oh my god, how did this, like, I was not like feeling bad about it, but it was more like into my logic, like into my reasoning. It was like, oh my god, what does it requires to win a prize every time I put a video, because that's my goal. And I
Right.
was like, you know so I expressed myself out into that. I had some words about it, like, because I honestly felt it like it was a great entry. It was my first video with Vanessa into the platform. I mean, it was a really beautiful entry. And actually the judges sent a second post saying that for some of the participants of this week, if they do upload a video this week, they had a lot of chances to win, and my name was
Huh.
into those. So it's pretty interesting. Like, I think that at the end they saw it, like, thanks to this song, I won the region of the day in another platform, and I was like creating a strategy, like branching into a lot of
Yeah.
platforms, promoting something. And like the song, it was in my head, my way to get some funding for this month. So I just
How
expressed,
how do
yeah.
they judge it? Was it like a judge panel? They just choose
They
this we
have
think is
to
the
they
best, or
have
was it
to
interactions on
they
social
have two main
media?
they have two main judges, and then these two judges, they select 10 entries, and then those 10 entries get into a community poll, and that community poll
Mm,
works like a third judge. So at the end,
right.
it's the top 10 of the first judge, of the second judge, and of the community. Then they make a mathematic stuff, and you get the winners. uh, yeah. But at the end, I cannot live off contest, especially if I'm not competing. So it's like, it's pretty complex. At the end, contest will not solve my creative desire, because they are not
Yeah.
tuned into what I do. So I was really clear about all of that, and I was passing through the contest, and this is a weekly contest, so they are not rewarding artists; they are rewarding community. That's what you have to know when you enter to
Mm,
weekly rounds of fund
right.
distribution. So most of the winners are people who participates every week but never got into a prize. So they have to make this
They
rotation.
just kind of cycle through.
They have to do it, because if not, they will not have that much.
They'll get
I don't
pushed
know.
back.
That's a really issue, because that's when you need some centralization, like for the judge to have a curation that is aligned to the concepts they profess. The same happened with
Yeah.
the Optimism Music Contest. They said it was a global opportunity to split $150,000 in Optimism tokens between all the international community, when at the end just English entries in music won, most of them friends of the judges. And that was like,
Yeah.
uh, I'm not going to say that you make your friends one, but say that
But
you are
a lot of the
Anglocentric.
times,
Say that you are
yeah, no, a
Anglocentric at
lot
the
of
least.
right. Yeah, not saying, "Oh, this global opportunity," and then choosing all like
Yeah.
Americans. I think a
No.
lot of times the judges are like, "Oh, well, we want to be fair in the way we distribute it versus just give it to the absolute best artist or performers." When if it's a contest, you got to just give it to the best. You can't be like, "Oh, participation trophy for kindergarten. We're going to give it to these community members. They didn't do the best, but they put an effort." You know?
Yeah, and in the case of Hive, they have to go through. There's a lot of community from Nigeria. They have the same infrastructure issues we face here, and the judge
Mm,
has to do a process where you separate the format from the technique, from the creativity, from the
yeah.
performance. Like, you have to see all these different layers. I do think it's a really heavy duty to do. And at least in that Optimism contest, they said, like, we don't have a topic, but if we have to choose one, we will choose like solar punk. I joined with the No Winter's Land song, with this one of the most like
Yeah.
solar punk songs I ever heard, and they made like summer optimism, like let's be optimism type of music of the summer, and I was like, why the traditional industry is the first thing we see here? Maybe that's just natural, but the thing that I cannot like understand is why, if they are optimism and they have millions, they didn't do a research into the Steemit blockchain to check out the music initiatives they were before, because they didn't learn from the blockchain to do this. Like, like they did a contest without the proper iteration, and I think they
Yeah.
could do better, especially with the narrative they have. Better than optimism, maybe it can be great to talk about, like, I don't know, excellence. I will make the excellence network or something like that, where people tries to bring out excellence. People iterate on the smart contracts they do. Some part of this contract is iteration, maybe narrative, maybe uh, written word, but it's looking for, I don't know, shape for the future. Maybe, I don't know, but all these blockchains, they should have like a research DAO. I don't know, but it something like that. I
I
think this
think
would be really, yeah.
most projects don't do enough research when they get an idea. When a lot of times they could learn from the failures of a previous project doing a similar type of campaign or in competition or whatever, whatever it is. There's, um, a lot of these ideas have been tried.
Yeah, yeah. At the end, I don't know how it will work. There are a couple of things that I just see, and I see like, okay, maybe this is a proof that we are not, like, we are super early. Like, even the projects
Yeah,
that
it's
you
not
thought,
mature.
it's not mature. Yeah, and I don't know how the vibe is on local like events. Like, my Web3 journey is like Token Smart, Discord, creating content, sharing it, uh, getting booked in spaces, collaborating on DAOs, but it never have been something like for fun, you know. And I don't know what is the vibe in the local places. You feel me? Like, I got
Yeah.
really sad the other day, and sad is the word. Like, I got a slot into ETH Brussels to promote the What to Have community project, and
Oh,
they
wow.
did they didn't got the projector to share all the metaverse experiences, so they shut it down all the metaverse experiences. Now, if you are a producer of a blockchain and you are doing an event this big and you don't find a second projector, like,
That's
in
silly.
the
That's
excellence
so
in the
ridiculous.
in the excellence network, you have three projectors. You have three people
Or,
to call. If you already have one, you have three
yeah.
backups. Like, this is, to me, I don't know. I think I'm chronically anxious sometimes because of like thinking that, like, as Prometheus was like, oh my god, this city is going to burn in 3 years. We have to do something. And other people was like, what are you thinking? What are you talking about? Of course not. And it's like, I don't know, but some people are trying to see in the future, and that's where provision comes from, and that is a necessity for producers, like, to learn and to have. And I'm not like saying that they did a bad work. I didn't even know how the work did because I didn't ever see. I still don't see the first video of this experience, but they had weeks to share better the information. What I think is that they didn't research on how the MBMF was made, or I don't know. Maybe I'm too judgy. Maybe I'm too.
Pretty basic, pretty basic if you're gonna show anything from a slide to like, this is the metaverse experience. You're gonna need a computer and a way to connect that to a giant screen or a projector. So that's like, if you're running a conference and you can't do that, I'm sorry, you basically failed.
Yeah, so I share this like, oh my god, that's so sad. Like especially for like, because it was not only the project, but I was trying to get booked into this type of spaces like for 3 weeks. I got canceled
Yeah.
onto all three or four of them till this that I it also got canceled. So I don't mind knocking doors. I don't mind that the event don't happen, but I do have a word to share because, the learning experience is for something. It's to talk about it,
Yeah.
but not to take it personal. But I have to share this statement completely in order for you to know what I'm seeing. So I don't know. Sometimes I have two moods of I shoot my mouth or I'm too acid, and it's not like I want to be acid, but for in this type of scenarios, I don't know. Vanessa told me I'm super direct sometimes. That you know
I think
that
that's usually best.
I don't know. I think that it's something I have been learning from English because on Spanish you can talk grass, you can hablar paja,
Mhm.
like you can yada 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 a lot of things, and like maybe cultural barriers doesn't let you to be straightforward because they see that as unpolite.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know what politeness is. Like I sometimes I think love is when you share something that you want to share. Of course not. It's a super deep topic. I don't have like my words today to talk about love and what is love. Uh, but yeah, I think that
The
love
big
has
one.
to come with some like acceptation of the other, and that acceptation comes with
Right.
by time to time like your friends maybe are, I do stand for like your friends are the people that tells you your flags at the first glance. Like my grandma told me like in public you're you say like congratulations, and in private you're correct things. So it's like it's not like I'm going to see like, hey easy, you I don't know, like today you forgot
Really
to
need to take a shower.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Hey man, tienes un violín. We say violín en español. Tienes un violín. So yeah, I will
Right.
not say that to you in public, but maybe I will say that to you
In
really
private,
fast.
yeah, like
But I wouldn't
before
wait.
some
But
important thing.
but I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait one day to tell you that. Like, hey man, you remember yesterday? You smelled like shit all day long. I want to tell you that. I will go straight to you and I will tell you, hey, easy. I want to have a word with you, man. Can we go there?
Yeah.
It will be 15 minutes. You and I. Okay, come here.
Quick,
We go and tell you,
quick,
hey man.
baño.
Hey, open your armpit. I have some soap here. Like, but it will be like, yeah, I think that's a great point. So yeah, it's
Well,
hard to also of yeah, Felon. Sorry.
I
And
think one of the hardest part is to, go from wanting to share something and not going to the point where you want something for somebody else more than they want it for themselves. And that's kind of where the disconnect can happen the worst. And it's too bad because it's good, and you just got to let it go. That's the hardest thing.
well, and in this space, there's so much um sort of phony positivity and stuff that sometimes you just have to like cut through that
Break
and
it.
directly, yeah, like go directly to the point of like, but what are you really doing? So
Yeah,
yeah, it can be
yeah,
valuable.
yeah, and we don't know the context of anybody. Like it's not only the people being a judge of any contest. It's maybe because that judge is a parent. Like that judge
Yeah,
is
yeah.
in the middle of a work change. That like people is not only the thing, like the product of the service that they are delivering to you. People is people. Yeah, I think that the same can happen with delivery guys or with a restaurant. Like everything that is customer service, it's pretty heavy metal, especially because sometimes you have to work with kids that never grow up. It's like, oh my god, oh my god.
Right.
And we just see we just see this little portion of someone's kind of personality in life through what they decide to share and how they share it on like social media. So yeah, you're not going to know really what's going on with
Oh my
with
god,
most.
that's so sad. Like, I'm really glad for my grandma and like how I was raised, like having the perception of the industry from since like a young age. Not like, oh, I was an expert, but it was just like I never like a TikTok. I never like it to do things that everybody does. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
I was looking to do something that I was liking, that I really like to do, and not because it was unique, more because I was creative and exploring. And I
yeah.
don't think those things are rewarded on TikTok. So when you told me about when you told me about a TikToker, when you told me that is that is a word to refer to somebody, I don't like the branding of a verb into something that is a company because
Yeah,
I prefer content creator, but right
yeah.
now I'm seeing news in the like digital newspapers in my left side of my Android cell phone, right? And I
It's
see
all
the
so and so TikToker got
fuck
arrested
it.
or like did this or
Can't.
that. Like, yeah.
It's like it's like it's I think it's better to say like the member of the community of like the name, like I don't know, in the old days, like if you read old newspapers you will see like a man was creating a video, I don't know, like um, I don't know. TikToker is pretty fucked up for me, like a verb for something. And I understand that all the artists at the end they want from the sponsorships and audiences they have to distribute products and services across their
Yeah.
networks. That is how it works.
It's it's very weird though. Like I think there's a big misconception with like a lot of the, I don't know, kids or whatever, where they're like, "Oh, I just need to like go viral on TikTok and then I can, make all this money." No, there's people that like work it and, do kind of go viral, but it's all about, like you said, those kind of using whatever leverage they get on TikTok to like sell product. That's how TikTokers are really making money, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Or
and it has a way to be commercial. It has a way to function and to work, but I think at least for me, and because of the way how do I consume content, I like to consume text content. You know, I like to read, and I like to see maybe more long term format content. I like
yeah.
to come here to talk to you guys to check Jets Hideaway. The other day, I was seeing a podcaster from Venezuela. Actually, he is a humor comedy actor, but he has this podcast. You know how it is these days. Everybody has a podcast. This is a
Yeah.
podcast. I realize that sometimes. My friends, the other day that they were with me, they were like, "So, you have a radio show with your friends?" And I told them, "That's right. That's what we have. It's as
Yep.
simple as that. Like we have instead of saying television, we make a little television for a moment. Like I really like that, and I think about it like the power that we are on television, and that's a great iteration for Trislit for us. There was a Venezuelan independent producer. The name is Reni Otolina. It's not the first time that I share that name here, but he was hired by one of the television networks to do like a Saturday Night Live with Jimmy Fallon, but him and
Mhm.
Venezuelan. And he made more money than the television show by creating,
Wow.
by importing and exporting products that he made. Like he made the partnerships. It wasn't the television channel. So he ran it for president and he got killed. But
Oh,
uh, the story is that this Reni Otolina, I'm sharing the Wikipedia page, but that dude moved the world. Like the thing was that he was more successful than the private and the public industry, him alone. And it was like in the type of content he shared, it was not trending. Like it was not like fashion. It was more like he made content out of the values and creating awareness of the values of the human values and connecting those values like to the Venezuelan society. And they were like the first people doing videos on the Amazon in the 60s, having for the first time the Amazon on television in the 60s. And he made all of that with knowledge and will, like the pioneers on the thing. And I'm really inspired by those figures, but not like I'm really inspired. I would love more people to know about those actors because they show so much. Actually, I don't know, the power of great icons that does something for the community. The other day I saw the documentary of Victor Jara from Chile. I don't know if you know it,
Mhm.
Easy or Felens.
No.
He's a musician that was a socialist from the first socialist government that was established in Chile. It was the first like democratic government established in Chile with Allende. And looks like the CIA got him down and they put Pinochet as a dictator that ran for a couple of months or years. I'm not sure, but this there was a musician. The name was Victor Jara, and Victor Jara was an acoustic guitarist that created songs, uh, directly telling to the politicians the things that they were not doing in a really subtle way. In a really subtle way, like he made. He was one the people say like a troubadour of like songs of the people. Yeah, like
Mhm.
and there was a day, the day that they made the state, the takeover of over the state of Chile. He was working in a university, and the military go went into the university, and they moved them all to the Chile Stadium. And one of the militaries, like the high hierarchy militaries on the place, recognized Victor Jara, and they killed him so bad.
Jeez.
They killed him
Yeah.
so badly. When his wife went to grab the body, his body was with the hands hanging, like super duper mutilated, but still attached to their
Yeah.
wristle.
Horrible.
It was horrible, and but something, it was like when he died and all the people in the stadium know him. It was looks like it was super heavy metal. The way they like it was not only a murder, but it was a torture for all the other people to watch and to understand. Like because
Right.
he was a dissident from all that movement that was happening, and looks like some people that were there but didn't die. It looks like they said like when I saw him die, like when I saw him, I felt it like something entered inside of me from him, and I felt
Mm.
it like I had to bring more awareness about like the
Right.
social fights, or I don't know, like I don't even know the context in that country. The first thing I ever saw about Victor Jara was that documentary, but he is a name that is super international. At least on Latin America, he made a huge impact because of the way of his dying, and because he was a family man, because he was, you know, on his business, but he has a voice and he said names and um, something pretty normal actually. If you see the song are super pure, like "Hey you, Mr. Johnson, please give the things you say you will to give. Don't steal the money." Something like that. Like it was something.
Nice.
It was
Yeah.
like pretty. I don't know. It was like like a pretty. I just speak so bad. I was going to say I don't know. I need a filter. I was going to say something really bad, but it was like a product that they like. It come from the organic things. like he went inspired into the daily visions of life, and that was what he shared, you know. So music, it's pretty complex for uh, governments, and independent industries
Yeah.
are really complex for governments. At least here in Venezuela, we don't have music or television industry anymore. My grandmother from the last like independent television shows that they were around,
Wow.
and
So it's
they were
just state. There's
we
like
just
what? Is there just a few channels of
television
like government
television
information
yeah,
unless you get like something from outside of Venezuela?
uh, old television novels, and some shows like Saturday Night Live, but really bad quality, really bad quality, with really plastic content, and in 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 the middle of that, you have some productions made by the government that you see that the people doing it has some consciousness.
Hmm.
There are a couple of great cooking uh, series, like, yeah, like productions where they go to the roots of the food in Venezuela. They literally
Hmm.
go to the house of a grandmother,
Right.
and
They do a lot of that in
they,
Costa Rica.
yeah, that type of content, yeah. And it feels like really, even the way how they record, it has a silence that it fills the room when those type of
Hmm.
videos goes. I don't know, but I like those type of content. Here and there, there's so much to iterate on, like one thing
Yeah.
don't discard the other. There's good and there's bad. One of the most good things I can rescue from all this process we live here is there was a process, let's say like a DAO. They made a DAO
Hmm.
a couple of years, like in 2014, 15. I was like 14, 15, and they made this like decentralization of power where they gave everybody the option of create their own law. So you went into your DAO, local DAO, you sent your proposal, and they accepted proposals in that DAO, and then that local DAO sent the proposals to the country DAO.
Up to the
Uh,
next. Yeah.
yeah, and there was a couple of laws that went
Mhm.
thanks to that. One of them was the protection of the natural seed, and like the reject of the transgenical products.
Nice.
But we have a lot of products with transgenics that comes uh, from like non-public streams of products. I don't know, but you have some
Hmm.
products here that comes that you say, this is a product from another country. Why is here?
Right.
Like, yeah, but yeah. So you have a context of post-capitalism. Maybe that's what people talk on crypto.
Hmm.
I think that's what is here because it's not capitalism. There's resources. I don't know what is happening, but I think it looks like that in the entire world.
Right.
That's my guess. So at the end, what is the way to go, like, and right now we didn't talk about it that here. I think I even couldn't stand, like I couldn't understand the conversation, but there's a pretty complex ambience on the politics in the states right now because all these
Oh
like
yeah.
last days things, it was like, oh my god, like so much
I
tension.
was I almost probably could have made a lot of money right when the like Trump shooting happened. I was like, oh, I should probably go buy up like the floor of those like Trump NFT collections, but I didn't. And they're all up like, double, triple, quadruple, 10 times, of course.
Of
But
course.
anyways, so that was my like one of my like thoughts and schemes. It's crazy, it's horrible. I'm glad he's pretty much fine. He got like his ear torn, luckily. Because yeah, if he had been assassinated, it would be, I think, way, 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 way,
Way,
way
way,
more chaotic.
way.
It would
What?
be a whole nother thing. So yeah, we
A
got lucky.
whole
We
other
got really
thing.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like in order to not get lucky, like like I think music events, not like the events, like, because when I talk, like, I'm not having as an example what we see every day, but more like the opportunity of making something that is a template of a conscious event. I don't know if saying conscious
Hmm.
event is. I don't even like the label conscious, like because it puts your thing above, like it's conscious and this is not
Right.
conscious.
Yeah.
I don't like that
Well,
label.
it seems like the approach that the festival up in New York that Binks went to last time seemed kind of like a cool approach. Like it was not, um, I guess it wasn't really publicized as like a Web3 event per se. It was just a music event, but there was a bunch of Web3 musicians participating and stuff. Um, so
Hazy.
for, for a concert, that could be a cool way to go. Or of course, our, safety um,
Safety concerts.
concerts, I think
Ah,
are
we
super
have to
important.
go. We have to go there, like, because it's a really great. I think I'm. Let's do something. I have. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to share some alpha, guys. I have a couple of resources. So my offer is to apply on grants for this. So
Nice.
I have so much grants list I got by a friend
Hmm.
the other day. I got a lot.
Awesome.
So
And it'll be a good test to see how receptive some of maybe these, organizations or whatever are towards music specific events because it's not only like the safety concert stuff that, we're interested and want to do, but that's um, one avenue.
sorry, can you repeat that? You see, I was copying this and deleting, and I just didn't
Oh, I
understood.
was just saying, it's even applying for like if we were applying for a grant to put on and promote a virtual concert that's also going to be, focusing on safety or something. That's also just a good way to kind of judge what the reaction from one of these grant, one of the companies or groups that has these grants available, how they react to like a music type event, so
I
that
think
they
we,
react
we will be.
positively.
I think that project is so
Pretty
disruptive.
darn good.
It's so disruptive. It's
Yeah.
so disrupt that the word is disruptive, because it will break the head of the developer, and it will break the head of the creative. uh, I think it's a great way of onboarding, because when I see people onboarding people, they don't. It's like, hey, create a Solana wallet. In this wallet, you can have
Right.
it right now, and you can be part of Web3. It's like, oh my god, you are not saying
Nothing.
nothing. Like, ah.
No substance. Yeah. Yeah.
And I say Solana. I don't want to say blockchains when I do a critique. That's dangerous. But yeah, Riesel is a great example of being funny about things. Um, yeah. So I just sent different grants. One, two, three, four, five.
Ooh.
There you have 6 links. One of Two of them are intertwined. Actually, it's an activity by local DAO. I don't know too much about them, but I'm going to be a speaker. One of the founders is Borrow Lucid. Christina, she's a DAO contributor I really connected, and I'm really uh, glad with her, because she have sent some work to my corner with some really great pace every time she can.
Nice.
Yeah, she's one of the real ones. So she sent me these grants the other day. I was asking for help on Warpcast, like, oh my god, help. And because I know there's so much things happening with the Unchained Summer on base, and I don't have the RAM memory. Like, I already passed through the pages with the information, and it's like I'm in so
Hmm.
much crisis that I cannot focus and apply. Like, it's like I get in my head like SpongeBob where they are on fire. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like, yeah, I feel like that. Like, that's actually the image I can see, like Fire Bob, SpongeBob. Yeah, it feels like this in my brain. But I decided to apply as much as I can. I actually have to do it this week. So one of those links I sent, don't remember which one. It's a self-updatable link, so it's always on time. It's always fresh. Links about grants. In one of them, I can't remember which one. Uh, but I think easy this week it can be great investment of time to apply to some of these grants through the idea of the event, and maybe we don't even have had to offer it as a DAO that was a easy money DAO, but but a project. You and Felons, like the Token Smart crew, like we work as producers. I can handle a Latin American side. We can be bilingual. We can
Yeah.
find safety talks. Actually, more than the safety talks, and we are going to have them. I don't know who is going to be the panelist, but I love the concept of like horror blockchain stories.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
you
Totally.
know, like I would love to share how we have been getting scammed.
The evil
How,
Yeah.
rug.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
No,
yeah, solid.
that's definitely a
Spooky.
big part of it.
Oh man,
yeah,
being like, yeah, I've never really been, thoroughly stalked, but I mean, borderline stalked. I mean,
yeah,
it's spooky. If this
yeah,
guy,
yeah,
and you drill down on their wallet addresses if they start trying to get things going with
Oh,
you, and you find out like
dude,
it, 6 wallets deep, there's like somebody with $1 billion worth of tokens.
crazy.
You're really it's sketch for sure.
yeah,
I
man.
got
Like, I think that.
someone attempted a old pig butchering scam. Let's see, can I they, it was just a random message that said, what did it say? It was like, "Hey, um where is it? Oh, yeah, here it is." So it just was like, yeah, it just said, "Hey," and I'm like, "Who's this?" And then there's a picture of like, an Asian girl, classic, "Sorry, are you Annie? I'm Aaron." And I just put LMAO because I already knew it was a pig butchering scam. And then they
Right.
answer, "Oh, sorry, maybe I entered the wrong number to you. I hope you don't mind. So where do you live?" And I put Afghanistan, and they put, "Nice place. I'm Aaron. I live in Miami. Nice to meet you. What's your name?" And I was gonna keep going, like that I lived in Afghanistan and I was a goat herder and stuff, but I just don't have the time to string on like a scammer. So I was like, wow,
Dude,
advanced method. But this is the
uh,
oldest scam out there. And then they never
yeah.
responded again after I said this is the oldest scam out there. Like,
Yeah, I have been seeing YouTube videos these days, easy about scammers, and I just got so surprised about the structures of these scam call
oh yeah,
centers with people
Oh yeah.
yeah,
working
massive.
there as a company, and they are connected with
Un
companies in the States, and they do money
oh
Exactly.
yeah.
laundering out of the money they steal from your grandmother. It's horrible, man.
Yep. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of people that get trafficked that if they're not like, good enough for like sex work or whatever, they get put into these scam call centers and there's literally slaves working in like,
Oh my god,
fucking
that is
Myanmar and
horrible.
other places where they'll have like a small city that's built around a
That's
giant
my
scam
nightmare.
center.
My
Yeah,
my
horrible.
nightmare always have been to work in a call center, but you just upgraded that fear to be a
They
slave of a
take
call
away your
center. That's
passport. They take away your passport, and like one of the floors is usually like a a punishment floor for the people that like, what if they try to escape or if they're refusing to work or whatever, they're not like scamming enough. Yeah, horrible, horrible conditions. So
Horrible.
not only are the
Uh,
scams
oh my god,
bad
that is
on
the worst.
everybody, but yeah,
That is the worst. Where
yeah,
like the manager of the scammers has his daughter kidnapped, so everybody is fucked up. That's fucked up. I just imagine a really great movie. By the way, like yeah, everybody. It was horrible, but it was good. It was going to sell a lot, but at the expenses of our mental health. But it was not a happy ending. But I saw a couple of videos, and this was a security guy who chased these scammers, and he scanned these scammers. So what he did was
nice,
that he entered the system of this scam company from India,
right,
and he patiently waited, seeing all the cameras he had access. He was able to access not only the cameras from the system, but the camera system of the place. So he was patiently waiting to get some passwords typed by the people in their cameras. So he was
right,
able to,
right.
like, he made a different methods. He explained it, a few of them, and they were other methods that he didn't explain. Like,
There's
yeah,
there's
it's
some
pretty.
awesome scammer hunters that basically do
Oh
this,
my
and they go in
god,
and they shut down scam centers and even work with like, international law enforcement stuff
that is
sometimes.
amazing. This
There's
Yeah,
a
dude,
that's pretty
movie out
cool.
right now that just came out called The Beekeeper.
it's a
Oh
movie.
yeah, yeah,
A
yeah. I
movie.
saw that on like night before
It's
last on
yeah.
Netflix or something.
I mean, it's intense, isn't it? It's the
Yeah,
ultimate payback
Yeah, yeah.
I had to
for
check it out.
So that
oh, it you know, you'll love it because it's so much absolute sheer destruction and death to the
yeah,
scammer.
of scammers,
Oh,
the destruction
about
of scammers.
about destruction and death. This is a, I don't know if you like movies like John Wick, but there's
That's
an
what
Hmm,
there's
this
hmm.
there.
is. That's what this is. John
Yeah,
Wick
okay,
going on scammers. Yeah.
yeah. This
Yeah.
this movie, this is with Bob Odenkirk. Do you know Bob Odenkirk? He's the
Yeah,
actor
yeah.
of Better Call Saul from
Oh yeah.
Breaking
Hmm.
Bad, the lawyer.
Oh
He
yeah.
has an action movie. He has an action movie where he kills
Hmm.
people, and it's so heavy metal. Like it was like if John Wick was real. I mean, when you see John Wick, you know it's a movie. When you see
Yeah,
this movie,
yeah. It's so
yeah,
overboard.
yeah, when you see this movie of Bob Odenkirk, you actually see that guy getting punched in the face, like really real. It's really interesting, the effect, because it feels like
Hmm.
homemade. The movie feels like homemade. It feels more like a snuff
Cool.
video sometimes. Like, oh my god, this feels like real. Like, yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I really like it. The movie was so good that looks like they are going to make a second one with the John Wick director. I don't know.
Damn.
It can go interesting. Yeah,
Is it called Nobody or no? What's it called?
Nobody or Mr.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody.
yeah, yeah. Something like that.
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody. Oh, that I really liked that movie. It felt it like if Breaking Bad went really mad. it was like it was like the other side of the album, of Breaking Bad. It was like, oh my god, this is the lawyer. Yeah, I really like how he acts, Bob and Cook.
I
I really
like
think he acts really good.
an
I'm
an old classic, which is like kind of the like precursor to some of these like John Wick or like the Odenkirk one where people kind of like lose it and fight back against society or whatever. Falling
Yeah,
Down, which was
falling
like in the
down.
90s or something, and the guy he's just a normal dude like insurance salesman or something, but he loses it like in traffic one day, and then he like just these one thing after the other happens and he just has all these like confrontations and encounters and it builds up to him like
oh yeah.
getting like a bazooka and like launching it at like the construction site that had been the reason for his whole traffic thing like it but it comes full circle. It's good. It's like kind of it feels like probably inspiration for some of these other ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hello. It's got Michael Douglas, and
Michael
Yeah,
Douglas.
great dialogue, like it still stands up today.
Totally.
Yeah, there's classic movies that they are just amazing. Doesn't matter whenever you saw them, they are classics. They spoke
Yeah.
metaphysics. It's like, oh my god, what I'm seeing.
Oh,
An
And
even as a
equalizer.
teenager, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is a classic. Like, this is
Yeah.
incredible." Dude.
this is a classic.
Well, there was
Mhm,
That
the
feeling.
mhm,
equalizer, of course, right?
mhm.
Woo. You're
The
having too much,
equalizer.
Valence?
Yeah, let's go some vibage. We've been.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
Yeah, I
down.
think I think I will say goodbye after this round of songs. I will go find my guitar too.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed
Let's.
so much today. I really enjoyed. We didn't talk too
Yeah,
much
yeah,
about Web
fun.
three.
No, not
Well,
really, but
yeah.
that's what the corner is for. Talk about anything on the stoop.
Yeah. Next week we can have Cello blockchain. I will try to have them. I will do my best to have them booked.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Very much awesome. Well, and sometimes words no longer matter, do they? So here you go.
Honestly, I heard half of it, but I think this is the first time that I heard that song.
Oh yeah.
It might
Well,
be. It
Nice.
might be possible.
I've played it several times, but I am playing it with capo on second fret.
Hmm.
So instead of sounding like this,
Mm. But it totally changed it. It
this
totally changed
vibe
it.
right here.
Yeah.
And funny, today it sounds better like this. But I'll play
I
it.
feel I feel totally tuned with the version you brought up today. Like I really like with the Fred on the second. It felt it like really
That's
open.
excellent.
Today I was seeing some video of creation of guitars by a Spanish luthier that has 8 generations in his family of guitar creators.
Wow.
It was a beautiful video. And I just want to make my instruments like, oh my god, it looks so great. And I know, I don't know with clarity, but there must be a right proportion of guitar for that guitar to be like a 432 hertz guitar. There's a proportion to that.
Hmm, I
And
would think so.
there's a proportion to that. The proportion, it has to be related to multipliers of the number 3, but I'm not sure of the proportions. I will have to have one of them, and from one of those proportions get the like the, like,
Like
I'm
the
sorry.
height, the depth, the length of the neck, and
Yeah,
all those things to be
yeah, like
exact so that it
I
is in
yeah I
tune to that frequency.
yeah
I've got
I
a
would
friend that
think
makes guitars.
I would think about 72 centimeters as one of them, because it's the 9. When you check Nikola Tesla buildings and structures, you check that he built them or he designed them with sizes that were multipliers of the number 3.
Hmm. So I
So
wonder if you can use the like Fibonacci sequence or something.
I wonder. I'm pretty sure you can. I just don't know how. And right now in my
Right.
head, I don't see it as something I can understand. There was a time that was like crystal clear to me. Like, oh my god, like give me the woods, give me the tools. Like I'm going to research this, but I found myself into, yeah, another
That's a
dimension.
pretty that's a pretty deep path. Yeah, to like not only just to with your hands put together guitar, but to figure out all the mathematics and stuff
Well,
too.
beautiful. Yeah, because they, at least these luthiers, they work with the wood pieces, but they were also sharing that some luthiers, they work already with standard sizes. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
this will be getting out of that, trying to get into
Standard.
mathematics. This will be getting into mathematics, and I don't know. It's just so much to study. It's a beautiful thing, and yeah,
Well,
even
I would
yeah.
really think that, again, sometimes we talk about like, oh, Web3 people don't take their ideas and research enough how other people have tried to do that. Well, maybe there's somebody that's done all the math and has a full on layout and stuff already, because there's plenty of people that have been interested in, 432 hertz versus, the modern change to 440 and all this. So there could quite possibly be extensive literature on it, maybe not in Spanish.
Maybe not in Spanish. Yeah, I would love to do my research. Actually thinking that in Canada, there are some like sound healing universities that it might be worth check it
Mm,
out. But yeah, this is a topic that is really young, and the information you find sometimes is just so new age in the wrong saying, like so new age. Like, oh
mm-hmm.
my god, like this is a frequency that will calibrate your chakras, but it's like, to me it's like a mathematical fact. It's like a
Right. It's
mathematical
not
fact.
it's not like a magical fairy dust
It's
from
not a magical fairies,
it's
no.
not something new that like a guru is all, oh, if you do this chant, you're gonna be all,
Yeah,
your
no,
heart chakra is gonna heal up and you won't fight with your spouse
no.
anymore.
It's not like that. It's more like an exploration of this idea that math is the universal language that the universe used to code the reality, and how we can use it in that consciousness to create things that are related to Fibonacci, like
So much
things.
history and physicality involved there.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be things inspired by nature, and if you go to the past,
Yes.
it's like I can talk in this like theory, but Da Vinci was inspired by a
Mm-hmm.
bird, and he designed a plane. Was inspired by I don't know. It was inspired by nature, and then he designed tools for the human being inspired by nature. That is the auric proportion. At least a practical use of it, more than theorize about it too. You know, like having the eye, having the mathematical accurateness to make a sound, at least in music, with flamenco guitars. I was seeing a beautiful documentary the other day that was talking about, like, in order to get the most sound out of an acoustic guitar, they say that guitarists took them till their 50, their 60s to get
Mm-hmm.
their sound.
Wow.
This was like a gypsy school, and this gypsy master, this really beautiful musician, he said that you know, like that's the saying. In order to fulfill the techniques and to apply them into a language, it took around 50 years. It's like, oh my god, music is just so beautiful. I'm glad that, you know, we use music as a tool for communication and connecting with it, not from a place of industry, like
Yeah.
competing. Or yeah, I do think, at least in our local community, a couple of years back, not all of us sing together when we sung. And these days, our friends have created their own original songs, even if it's just a cappella songs. They are writing songs and they are exploring music, and I think that is the main purpose of art. I'm going to share a couple tunes. Thank you guys. I'm going to share El
Awesome.
Artesano. Artesano. Sorry.
Arriba.
Diva, diva, diva. Arriba, dijo. Mirar con ojos de artesano, sí, sería lo que me haría un poeta, diferente a lo mortal. Sería un amor tan bonito, sería un amor tan distinto a lo que se puede tocar. Y sabría que es amor porque es incondicional, repitiendo los hechizos de tu boca escupe fuego. Sabría que es amor porque busques integrar, evocaría el sentimiento de la unión y de los sueños. Sabría que le estoy hablando al amor porque me estoy hablando a mí para conectar contigo. Desde la fuerza de un latir con dirección y sentido, me escucharías hasta el silencio sordito de los caminos eternos. Sí. Sabías que los momentos pesados a voluntad te hace ligero. Como artesano me toca sudar, me toca romper, me toca quemar. Como artesano me toca sudar, me toca torcer, me toca sangrar. Como artesano me toca doler, me toca vivir, me toca curar. Como artesano me toca entrever entre los dos planos de la realidad. Como artesano me toca curar, me toca romper, me toca quemar. Como artesano me toca sudar, me toca toser, me toca sangrar. Como artesano me toca doler, me toca vivir, me toca curar. Como artesano me toca entrever entre los dos planos de la realidad. Sería lo que me haría un poeta,
Konnichiwa.
Woo! Thank you guys for another Monday. Let's get a guest for next week. Let's get the webcast thing going on. Hopefully tomorrow, if I study the things correctly, every Tuesday on webcast they give a power badge to the power users. To be a power user, you need to uh, yeah, to I was going to say some funny and heavy shit, but I'm not going to say it because I had second thoughts.
Such
But
restraint. Come on, what's up?
because you know what happens that I was going to say like a Spanish joke and I didn't had the words, and then I had like the moment to think like, don't say that, guy, don't say that, sit down.
That's good. No, I'm proud of you. I actually am. So good. Good on you.
Yeah,
As the
but
Aussie thing.
you have to you have to test for 15 days, 2 weeks of content and interaction. It's not only like but felons, I will give you a like every day, and I will recast, I will give you tokens. Easy can give you a comment. Vanessa is also on his way. So organically, and not organically, like mechanically, we can make that thing work till a point that you can start being organic.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's
No,
how it works.
I'm thinking that
I've
too.
kind of been off uh Warpcast the last like month with all this dentistry and stuff going on, all the couple surgeries. But I'm ready to dive back in and also start doing my Draculas. They're doing some updates on Dracula, I think too. Maybe app updates.
Abril
Oh, is
wants to
my
say
audio dead?
hello. Abril wants to say hello to y'all. Di aquí hello. Dile
Ah,
hello a mis
bueno.
amigos.
Hello.
She's
Hello.
Nice
she's
to meet
the
you.
girl voice that you hear when I'm with my friends. She's Abril. She's learning English too. Really
Nice.
curious.
Awesome.
Yeah. Te están diciendo hello también back. Te estoy diciendo hello a ti.
I love the face. She has such an expressive face. I love
Um,
Yeah.
well,
it.
I know
I
as soon
love it.
as we get our guest confirmation, if we get Cello, Trizlet's ready to throw out some, we'll throw up some tweets early and put out some stuff on Warpcast and hopefully bring a little crew over here. I know we're on,
Yeah.
we're live out on YouTube and
Yeah.
X and Unlonely. So if anybody's watching out there, we
Yeah.
appreciate you. You can always come join the Discord.
I'm going to knock the
Definitely.
door on Sofia publicly and or private. I already did it, but I know that they were at 8th Brussels promoting Celo and the Giveth and everything. So they were doing a lot of local in real life
Yeah,
stuff.
all good.
But I think
Good,
that the
good.
event already ended. They were returning homes. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I will knock the door. Maybe not for this week, for this next week, because
Or
they are
or
returning.
any of the next couple. Yeah, any of the
Yeah.
next couple weeks.
Well, guys, keep away from phone and hold the vibe.
Oh
Adiwa,
yeah.
great space, special
Peace,
special
love, and
space.
whipsy.
Peace, love, and whipsy. See ya.
Till next time.
See ya. Happy Mondays.
Don't trip off the
Woo.
curb. We're going off of Easy's corner.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah. Post on Wordcast, guys.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Thanks for anybody listening in. We'll catch you next week.